Hi, in this video I will prove this Quran, the Hafs version, is false and unreliable, and therefore the Islamic world is misguided and wrong for trusting it. In the process, I will be answering the following questions. Question number 1. What is the most dominant Quran version used in the world today? Question number 2. What are the conditions used to authenticate any version of the Quran? Question number 3. Who was Hafs? And question number 4. Was Hafs an honest and trustworthy man? So let's begin. Question number 1. What is the most dominant Quran version used in the world today? For the answer, we turn to the book An Introduction to the Sciences of the Quran by Muslim scholar Yasir Qadhi, which says, today the majority of the Muslim world reads the Hafs Quran only. More specifically, on page 199, it says this Quran version is used by about 95% of the Muslim world. So, the overwhelming majority of the approximately 1.7 billion Muslims are in unity using this one version of the Quran known as Hafs. That's a pretty amazing uniformity. Question number 2. What are the conditions used to authenticate any version of the Quran? For the answer, I turn your attention again to Yasir Qadhi's book. Page 187 mentions 3 specific conditions. It says, every qira'ah or reading that conforms to the rules of Arabic, even if by one manner, and matches with one of the mushafs of Uthman, even if such a match is not an obvious one, and has an authentic chain of narrators back to the Prophet, meaning Muhammad, is an authentic qira'ah. Did you notice that third condition? A Quran version or reading must have an authentic or reliable chain of narrators. In fact, page 189 of this book further states, this is the most important condition. Question number 3. Who was Hafs? Well, we already know the Hafs Quran is a Quran version, but why is it famously named Hafs? To answer that, I will simply show you the chain of narrators for this Quran version. As you see, I've underlined it for you in red. It says, رواية حفص بن سليمان بن المغيرة الأسدي الكوفي لقراءة عاصم بن أبي النجود الكوفي التابعي عن أبي عبد الرحمن عبد الله بن حبيب السلمي عن عثمان بن عفان وعلي بن أبي طالب وزيد بن ثابت وأبي بن كعب عن النبي, which basically translates as the riwayah or transmission of Hafs ibn Sulaiman ibn al-Mughira al-Asadi al-Kufi of the qira'ah or reading of Asim ibn Abi al-Nujud al-Kufi from Abdul Rahman Abdullah ibn Habib al-Sulami from Uthman ibn Affan and Ali ibn Abi Talib and Zayd ibn Thabit and Ubay ibn Ka'b from the Prophet, meaning Muhammad. So basically, the individual known as Hafs became famous for transmitting a particular reading of the Quran, named after the leader of a particular school of reciters. In this case, the leader was Asim. In fact, Yasir Qadhi informs us on page 196 of his book that Hafs was the most knowledgeable person of the qira'ah or reading of Asim. And as you just saw from the chain of narrators, this Quran version or reading allegedly originates from Muhammad himself. Question number 4. Was Hafs an honest and trustworthy person? In other words, can the Muslim world trust Hafs as an honest, trustworthy, and reliable person to transmit the Quran? This is our most important question. I answer by using the following Islamic source. In the Musnad of Imam Ahmad, Volume 1, Hadith number 1268 or 1267 in an online Arabic edition, Muhammad is quoted saying, whoever reads Quran and learns it by heart, he will be granted intercession for 10 of his family for whom hell was due. Now let's look at the comments below this hadith. We'll see there is a serious problem here. Its chain of narration is graded as da'if jiddan or very weak. Why is that? Well, it's because of the presence of Hafs in the chain of narration for this hadith. In fact, here are more comments on this same hadith in Arabic that provide us with more information why the presence of Hafs in a chain of narration makes a narration unreliable. It gives his name as Hafs Abu Umar, huwa Hafs bin Sulaiman al-Bazaz al-Qari. And it says, وَهُوَ مَتْرُوكُ الْحَدِيثِ, meaning, and he is rejected in hadith. كذا قال الحافظ في التقريب وقال البخاري في الضعفاء 9 تركوه. And it says, great Muslim scholars such as Al-Hafidh and Imam al-Bukhari likewise claimed Hafs is rejected. Next we read other charges against him. أخذ مني حفص بن سليمان كتابا فلم يرده. And notice here, وكان يأخذ كتب الناس فينسخها, which means Hafs used to take books from people and copy them and not return them. And more importantly, we read here, وَكَانَ كَذَّابًا, which means, and he was a liar. Actually, for those of you who don't know Arabic, you can still find some information about his dishonesty in English also. For example, in the book Studies in Early Hadith Literature by M.M. Adami, it says on page 128, he copied other scholars' books and put their material in his own. He borrowed a book from Shu'bah, but did not return it. In other words, according to these Islamic sources, Hafs was unreliable, untrustworthy, a thief, and a plagiarist who took materials or narrations from others, but made it appear like they were his own. And worse than that, he was a liar. In ending this video, my conclusion is the Hafs Quran is batil or false. It cannot be trusted nor be considered the word of God. Therefore, the Muslim world is seriously misguided for blindly accepting the Quran transmitted by a known liar and dishonest thief. Thanks for watching, and God bless you.